Aaron, why do you think Garrett Cole didn't have it tonight?
I don't know. Again, I thought stuff was there. I actually thought it seemed like his slider, he got going a little bit there early. The changeup, that kind of leaked back right in the middle that Bogarts got him there in the first. After a really competitive at bat with Devers, where he worked the walk on him. Obviously, that was a tough blow early there in the first. And then just coming back around. Obviously, Schwarber's able to get to a heater, look like up above the zone maybe. So it was just a little bit of a grind for him, and again, just getting hurt. With some slug, with some pitches that kind of leaked back there in the middle, and they took advantage of them. So, and obviously tonight wasn't a night where normally you get settled in, and who knows where you go from there. But I went and got him pretty quick, obviously, but just a little misfire on a couple, and they made him pay.
The offense really wasn't able to muster much tonight. It did seem like they were building some momentum there with Judge on base, Stanton at the plate. What did Nevin see on that play that led him to send Judge?
Yeah, I think coming in, the ball coming in looked like it was going to be kind of an in-between hop to the infielder. Bogarts did a good job of creating a hop, catching it clean, and obviously throwing it home and getting them. But and that kind of squashed a potential rally there. So I think what he saw was what he thought was going to be kind of an in-between hop and really a tough chance.
We can take a next question from Marley Rivera.
Hi, Aaron. What made Nate Eovaldi so tough today?
Like he always is. I mean, he's got great stuff. I mean, up to 100 miles an hour. This fastball cuts it. I thought he had his curveball going a little bit tonight with the splitter. So he had, he was able to change speeds, and he's a great strike thrower. He fills up the strike zone, and obviously got a lead there and was able to, kind of take advantage. But he's a guy that he's one of the best pitchers in the league, and it's because he has the tool set to do it. But then he's got command, and last time didn't really necessarily have a splitter or his curveball that really gives him a change of pace. Tonight he had that going a little bit for him and got in a pretty good rhythm.
Brian Hope, you have the next question.
Aaron, I assume you've had some time to speak to the team since the loss. What was your message to them, and could you describe the mood in that clubhouse right now?
Guys are crushed. Unfortunately, we've been in this position where, fortunately we've been in the playoffs every year, but it hasn't ended how we wanted, obviously. And tonight was another tough one to take. And we've been through a lot of wars with guys in that room, and we got a lot of scars. So guys are bummed. I mean, you pour a lot into this, and I guess my message is, first of all, I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to compete with that group of guys. And one of the things I'm most proud of with this team this year is this was a challenging year. This was not an easy year for us. And, when we had to play well the final 2 months and really compete at a high level, I thought we did that and put ourselves in a position and gave ourselves a chance to be in this game with an opportunity to do something special in October. And so I love the way we've competed and showed up the last couple of months. But the other message is that, the league's closed the gap on us. We got to get better. We got to get, better in every aspect, at just getting a little bit better, because it's not just the Red Sox and the Astros now in our league. I mean, look at our division. The Rays are Beast, the Toronto, and there's some teams in the Central that are getting better and better. Teams in the West that are better and better. Teams that have closed the gap on us, and that needs to be front and center as guys prepare in the off season and get ready for spring training next year. That we've got to get better.
Brendan Cuddy, you have the next question.
Aaron, you just touched on a little of this, and I understand the season just ended, but how do you view the totality of the 2021 season? Do you see it as expectations are so high and they weren't met, or do you see it as the second half bounce back, getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think all of that. There's always things you look at that. I love the compete of this group. And I thought that and our preparation and our focus and our the urgency we played the game with in the final half of the season really was great. But at the same time, you also look at what a challenging, tough year it was, and we weren't at our best all the time, and so there's frustration with that. You feel like there's more on the bone there for us to have, and but I am proud of the fact that we put ourselves in a position to give ourselves a chance, and to have this awful feeling because we were playing for something meaningful.
Eric Boland, you have the next question.
Aaron, after the loss in San Diego last year, you said that the ending is cruel. How would you characterize how 2021 ended?
Cruel. I mean, it is. Can't overemphasize how many people pour so much into, giving ourselves a chance to compete for something special and make it to the postseason. Sometimes around here that maybe is taken for granted. You can't take that for granted. The opportunity to compete in the postseason is special. And you had to do some good things to get to this point and give yourself an opportunity. And when it ends so abruptly after, really the preparation never ends, the 9, 10, 11-month cycle that you're prepared to get to this point to give yourself an opportunity, the ending is really cruel. And but there's nothing better than competing for something meaningful.
And Aaron, when do you expect your situation to be addressed?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. We'll see.
Thank you, Aaron.
Dan Martin, you have the next question.
Aaron, following up on that, do you expect to be back?
I mean, obviously, my contract's up, and I haven't had any conversations with anyone about that, so we'll see. I love being here. I love going to work with this group, and love going to work with this group of players. But we'll see.
And you had a different lineup today. Do you look back on any of those decisions, or second guess any of those decisions, whether it was Gallo hitting cleanup or anything else?
No, not tonight.
Dave Lennon, you have the next question.
Hey, Aaron, when you came out to remove Cole, I mean, it was a pretty certain thing, signaled, ready to go. He kind of looked up and just kind of mouthed, "I'm out," like he saw you out of the corner of his eye, and maybe he was surprised, maybe he wasn't. How kind of surprised were you? I mean, you sent out your best tonight. You only got 6 outs out of him, and here you are having to make this huge move really, really early in the game. Was it kind of a stunning blow to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, not easy. Especially, just how great a pitcher Garrett is and how much respect I have for him and how much I know he wants it and prepares for it and competes for it. So, it's a difficult decision, but I felt like the one I needed to make.
Thank you.
We'll take the next one from Tyler Kettner.
Yeah, Aaron, it was a tough offensive night tonight. Obviously, a lot of that has to do with Eovaldi. But it's a very inconsistent offense in general. How do you fix the offense here?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously been our calling card here, right, for the last several years, whether it's, leading the league and being the best offensive team or one of the top two offensive teams. And then this year, wasn't the case. We struggled at times. We didn't score runs like we normally would. So, we've got to examine a lot of things and where can we help, guys that are going to be back here. Where can we help them get better individually? Are there things we can do to help them? Obviously there'll always be some personnel shakeups and, rosters construction gets a little bit different each and every year. And hopefully, it all works to be a slightly better fit, but this was overall just tough for us to really be the offensive juggernaut we've kind of come to expect. And, I'm not sure why we didn't realize our potential there.
You have the next question.
Aaron, following up on that, do you think that you need some wholesale changes with the positional group to be a better positional group in whole, not only at the plate, defense, on the bases, etc.?
Well, I think that you're always searching or, working to find a more perfect roster and a more perfect fit. So you're always trying to improve. And, sometimes, I hear, whatever someone's shortcomings are, or a team that ultimately goes on and wins the World Series, like we're all trying to be that most complete team we can possibly be. So that work never ends. And, every team's kind of searching for that and trying for that. The good thing is we have a lot of great players and a lot of great men in that room. And I feel like a lot of great leadership in that room. And hopefully we can supplement it properly moving forward to give us that ultimately the perfect team, or not the perfect team, but the best team. And that's a never ending, I guess, clay you're trying to mold.
We'll take the next one from Bob Clappish.
Hey, Aaron, just getting back to Cole for a second. I mean, obviously his problems go beyond tonight. I mean, over the last month or so, he gave up 18 earned runs in 19.2 innings. So something is clearly wrong, or has been for a couple of weeks. Can you put your finger on it?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's subtle. I mean, he's been, they haven't missed a mistake on him, and that doesn't always happen, especially when you're as great as Garrett Cole is. It's like, sometimes you make a mistake and it's base hit. It seems like in these games where, he's made a mistake with a pitch, they've, hit it out of the ballpark. And part of that is, some great plans against them, against some great hitters against them that have taken advantage. But, I don't feel like he's been real fortunate when he has made a mistake, because I do feel like his stuff has been there. I feel like he's throwing the ball pretty well. Maybe just not quite as sharp as he is when he's, the best in the game.
You think he's been healthy all along? He says his hamstring's been fine, but do you think that played any role down the stretch?
It's certainly possible. Look, he's a gamer and a competitor. But I do think he was sound health-wise. But it's fair to, I mean, if you go back and, he got COVID, came back, had the hamstring, do you add it all up and it factors, and those factors can be small, but can have big effects. So I do think he was sound and capable of going out and pitching like the dominant ace that he is. But I think it's fair to at least the interruptions of his season in the second half with COVID and then the hamstring could have contributed some.
Right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Axton, you have the next question.
Sorry. Hi, Aaron. Did you consider pinch hitting Sanchez in, I think it's the 6th when Higashioka hit for himself?
Yes.
Or the 5th?
In the 5th. Yeah, I did.
Why didn't you?
Just with 2 out, with nobody on, I just wanted to hold back just in case there was a situation where I needed to shoot Gary in a bigger spot. You know, had they gone to a lefty or something in the middle of the lineup coming back around, or so if anyone had gotten on base at that point, I would have hit for him. He was prepared to hit, but once we were 2 outs and nobody on, I didn't want to do it yet.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Ian O'Connor, you have the next question.
Aaron, I believe you're just the second manager to start his career with 4 consecutive trips to the postseason. Given that, if your employer decided to make a change, would you see that as an unfair decision? And if not, why not?
Oh, I mean, look, I'm all I can say is that I love doing this. I love doing this with this group. I felt incredibly supported from the organization, from ownership and cash and front office on down. So, you know, whatever happens moving forward, you know, I'll be at peace with. I walk out of here tonight with a lot of, you know, proud of what a lot of people have done here since I've been here. And it's a group and a shared effort, and I love going to battle with all these guys, players, coaches, support staff, you know, front office. So we'll see what happens on that front, but whatever does happen, I'm at peace with, and I know that, you know, I can hold my head high.
Lindsay Adler, please unmute.
Aaron, you said that you feel that the league has closed the gap between you guys. And I'm curious, do you believe that the way that your team's played over the last couple of years has played like a team that's been really leading the pack in baseball?
Well, I felt like, you know, just kind of looking back like to 18 and 19, you know, I felt like, you know, it was a few teams that were, you know, I felt like we were one of those teams, like truly capable and really razor thin between us winning a world championship and the Red Sox or the Astros. You know, last year was obviously a little different and odd and whatever. But this year, I do feel like there's more teams that are on the come that are way more competitive with us and that have closed the gap with us. It's not just the Rays and the Astros and the Red Sox anymore. You know, it's the Blue Jays. It's the Central teams that are coming. It's the Mariners and Angels. These teams are on ground with us, and we need to keep on getting a little bit better.
And you talked a lot this year about, you know, how you guys can play when you guys are at your best. And, you know, we know the, you know, natural talent level you guys have on the roster and how the results turned out. Like, what does the gap between what you expected for this team and what you felt this team was capable and the results you guys, like, what does that make you feel when you look at it at this point?
I'm not sure. Could you ask it again? Got it.
What is the feeling? Is it frustration? Is it disappointment? Are you curious about sort of
on our
what
season
went wrong here? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a challenging, tough year. I mean, it's been, you know, because we have had the peaks and valleys, and you strive for consistency, right? And, you know, it's hard to achieve. You know, that said, we took a lot of lumps this year and had a lot of tough things happen to us and still managed to get over 90 wins and give ourselves a chance in the postseason. So I always try and reflect, especially as you get away from it a little bit in the days ahead, and not be so emotional about it, and knowing that this year was taxing and heavy and such a grind. And while I do feel like there's a lot more teams that, as I've talked about, close that gap, I also feel like we are, as we've been the last few years, really close to being the best team too. And we're not there yet. And we haven't got over that hump since I've been here. And that's what we need to keep working at.